Support everything we do at MWP News by visiting ko-fi.com/MWP News. Every donation helps us stay independent. For breaking entertainment news, reviews, and more, check out MWPnews.com. If you love games, head over to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/@MWPNewsGaming for reviews and gameplay. Links to all of this will be in the show notes, as well as links to the other podcasts. Thank you for your continued support. Good morning, and welcome to... Oh, not recorded, yeah. No, we're good? We're good? Yeah, that sounds right. Okay. Welcome to the Backlog Files. I am Adam on this. It is July 22nd. It's a little confusing because it's like just above 60, it's just in the 70s today, and it's really nice out, and it's like, oh wow, that is beautiful. So, point in all of this is, we had a new Pokemon Presents today, and I don't know what I expected going into it. I remember they announced it as like, we will talk more about Legends ZA in a new Presents presentation on July 22nd, and I was like, okay, a Presents presentation that's going to be entirely about Legends ZA, and I was like, okay, that's a cool idea. Let's see how that goes. And we spent a lot of time talking about other things, and I was like, I'm going to temper my expectations for ZA now. Because the issue is, like, if they went out and they spent a good amount of time talking about ZA, I'd be like, oh, shit, they're confident in this, they want people to do it, it's not just another game. The fact that we spent so much time talking about the World Championships, about Pokemon Go Fest, about the new season of Pokemon Concierge, the new Aardman thing, which admittedly, very interested in this new collaboration between Pokemon and Aardman for Netflix. But, like, the amount of things that they talked about instead of that, it feels like someone has a book report due and they're stalling, is what it felt like. And the issue is you're stalling with a lot of shit, quite honestly, where it's like, we have a theme park coming, okay, what about the game? We have a new event in Pokemon Sleep where you can get the legendary beasts from Gold and Silver. Okay, but what about ZA? We have a new game coming out that looks like it's meant to be Royal Match, but Pokemon themed. Okay, but what about ZA? Like, that's how it felt the entire time. And then you get to ZA at the end, and it's like, there's not a ton more information that's going to sell anyone on this game. And granted, I think if you're waking up early in the morning, I mean, it's 9 a.m. Eastern. Like, if you're waking up 9 a.m. Eastern to watch Pokemon Presents, you don't necessarily need to be sold on Legends ZA. But if you're waking up that early to find out more about Legends ZA, you probably are going to be a little disappointed if all you get out of this presentation is a bunch of, stuff about mobile games, and especially when it was like, hey, we're going to talk about Legends ZA on the 22nd. And really, the two big things that we didn't know about this game going in that were revealed are the Rogue Mega Evolutions and Mega Dragonite. And it's like, to that point, I'm like, so what was the point of this? Like, what was the point of me getting up this early to do this? And I think, honestly, the big reveals here were not anything from ZA, were not anything on Netflix. I mean, obviously the Aardman thing is pretty cool, and I'm very interested in that. But the thing that I'm like, that's a little strange, is like seeing what they're doing with Champions. That was the big thing for me, because it's like Champions is like they're taking a lot of the ideas that we've seen popularized in ROM hacks. Like, I've been playing Radical Red, I've been playing like Elite Redux, I've been playing like Emerald Imperium, a lot of Emerald Rogue. Like, all of these things have some of these features that are being introduced here. The idea that you can pick your EVs and put them on the Pokemon yourself. You can change the you can very easily change your nature. You can pick the moves in the move set. You go, I want this, 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 and this. Like, these are all things that have been popularized in these ROM hacks that to see it put into a game is like, oh, that's cool. And it's something that I hope they're going to bring into the mainline games at some point in the future. Like, it's probably not going to be in Legends ZA, obviously, but I feel like it's something that they could bring in when they do Generation 10. And that's something where it's like, again, we have Legends ZA a few months from now. Like, Legends ZA comes out in October 16th. What's after that? Because Legends Arceus did not have DLC. Like, Legends Arceus did not have a robust DLC thing. They had some additions after the fact of just events. Like, I think there was a free update that added in, like, the alpha outbreaks, I believe, if I remember correctly, was a post-release add-on. But the idea that, like, if we're going to be following suit, it's like, so this game's going to come and go. By the end of next year, what's next? It's not like Scarlet and Violet. When Scarlet and Violet came out, then within the next year and, like, almost year and a half, you had support with DLC. Like, say what you will about that game, they supported it for a not unsubstantial amount of time after. Is there going to be the same level of support for ZA? And if that's the case, like, what are we doing? Because let's keep in mind, too, next year is the 20th, is the 30th anniversary. So I think it's not going to put a mainline game in the 30th anniversary year. Like, they make weird decisions, but is that a weird decision they're going to make? I just don't understand what we're doing here. Like, it just kind of feels weird. And it's like, look, there's always a chance that we get, like, there was that rumored collection that they said, hey, we're going to release, like, someone said they're going to release, like, a collection of all the retro games on the Switch in 2 separate packs where it's, like, memories and reminiscences or some shit like that, where it was, like, Red Gold, Ruby Fire Red was on one, and then on the other one was Blue... Blue Silver, Leaf Green, Sapphire was on the other, and then, like, you would get, if you bought both, you got the third versions, which I was like, that's a weird choice. You'd think they would just, like, split the 4 third versions into the 2, whatever, it is what it is, or the 3 third versions into the 2 games, whatever. They'll figure it out. But I remember seeing that and being like, that's a good 30th anniversary thing. You put that out for the 30th anniversary, and it's just like, it's been so long since we got a remake. And I think part of that is it's like, we put out a remake last time and you guys shat all over it because you didn't like the art style. And it's like a lot of the issues, like, I've gone back recently and listened to people on YouTube talk about what they didn't like with, Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl. And I'm like, oh, so your problem isn't so much with this, your problem is with Gen 4 in general, because it's kind of a straight port. Like, and it's like, and their complaint is that it's kind of a straight port. And it's like, okay, like, what were you expecting? Like, and okay, it's they didn't add anything. It's like, okay, well, what do you want them to add? Like, you want them to add in the Battlefront? Like, I get wanting the Battle Frontier, but, like, the level of vitriol, like, God, is not worth that. It's just people had to, like, it's one of the things, if you played that game when you were a kid, like, this is great, this is the new Pokemon game, this is amazing, I remember loving it, and if you go back to it, it doesn't age particularly well, and the best games to have come out for that console were, for the DS, were all the rest. Like, Diamond, Pearl, Platinum are the 3 weakest, and I think that, like, the game in general, like, I think Sinnoh is definitely, like, a non-zero part of that. But, like, the idea that, like, we're gonna like, sit here and oh, well, we're not getting Unova remakes because people complain too much. Like, it's just kind of weird. So here we are now at the end of this, and I'm just like, the fact that they came and they said, hey, we're going to have more information about this on July 22nd, and then this is the information, they were like, this is what's going to tide them over until the game comes out, Mega Dragonite, and you get to battle wild Mega Evolved Pokemon. It's like, I don't think that's necessarily it, because the thing is, it's like, the wild Mega Evolved Pokemon doesn't shock me because of the gameplay loop of Legends Arceus, where you have to fight the what were they called? The Alpha? No, not Alpha. The Guardian Pokemon. What, I forgot what they were called, but they were each section had like a protector Pokemon you needed to fight. That was like, you had to fight it, and it had special power. You had to run around and be careful of it. Like, and then like the idea that like, okay, we're gonna set this in Lumiose City, and Mega Evolution is gonna be a big part of it. I'm like, it's not shocking that that's the direction they went, because that fits the gameplay loop of all of that. And here's my issue with all of this. Like, my issue with all of this is, if you're confident in this game, and it's like, I think this is going to do a lot to kind of hold people back, because it's like, you told people we're going to talk about this game more in a presence in there. And traditionally, when we have something like that in a Nintendo Direct, if it's like, hey, we're going to talk about this more in a Direct later, or we're going to talk about this more in a presents later, it means you're going to do a presentation that is very specifically tailored to this one game. And the fact that you had a 22-minute presentation, 23-minute presentation, and only 6 was devoted to the game that was advertised is kind of questionable. And then on top of that, too, you bring nothing new of interest. Like, nothing here is something that's like, oh, well, that's cool. Like, I say this every time, we spend far too much time going over what's happening in the mobile games. Because, like, that's the thing, too, is that it's like they're talking about, like, Pokemon Cafe Remix every time they do this. They talk about Pokemon Cafe Remix, which is the game. I think it's like a match 3. But they always talk about it. And I'm always just like, so what's the gameplay here? Like, what's my incentive to do this? And the same thing goes for Pokemon, Masters EX. Like, what's the gameplay loop of that game? Oh, you're adding in Nemona from the DLC of that? Okay, cool. Like, again, these presentations feel like a number of things that should have been elsewhere. Like, all the shit for the mobile games is not put it in a presents. Because I don't think there's conversion there. I like there has to be some conversion, otherwise I wouldn't keep doing it, I would hope. But I don't think the conversion numbers are exactly what you would hope for, giving it this level of notoriety. I think maybe Unite, because I think Pokemon Plus MOBA is pretty easy to sell. But the rest, it's like, why are we wasting time talking about Pokemon Sleep? Why is that a thing that we're going to continue to waste time talking about? Every single one of these for that could just be posts on whatever social media they're using. Like, and that could be it. Like, hey, look, or a blog post. Like, those are blog post items. Those are not put it in a marquee presentation items. And then it's like, okay, so we have all of that. That's fine. And it's like the same goes for like the championship. Like, the championship is so niche that people will go to it. It's like, why? What's the point of spending so much time talking about it and advertising? It's like, what's the point of this? And my other issue is too, it's like, I have to go back and look, because I didn't do it, because it's 9:44. The presentation just ended a little while ago, and then I left for work, and here we are. Like, the question I have is, at this stage in the promotion of Legends Arceus, how much information did we, this far out from the release of Legends Arceus, how much did we know? Because I seem to recall there being a presentation for Legends Arceus like this, but it was just that game. it was like a 20-25 minute presentation of just being like, hey, look, this is this game that's very different from what we've done in the past, and here's what it is. And I get that you don't necessarily need to do that now, because it's not necessarily that different from what they've done even with Legends Arceus, where it's like, hey, we're perfecting the battle system, we're allowing you to move the Pokemon around, adding a level of strategy to it, and all of that. But they didn't even touch on that. But, like, I'm curious, like, at this point, did we know that Typhlosion and Decidueye and Samurott were getting alternate evolutions? Like, did we know that at this point in the proceedings, this far out? Did we know about the new forms of Dialga and Palkia? Did we know about Enamorus? Did we know about, like, all these new things, like, the new evolutions for, like, Stantler, for Sneasel, who were the other ones, like for Basculin? Like, did we know these things at this point in the proceedings? And if so, why are they holding so much back now? I understand, like, I personally want to have some surprise when I play the game. I don't want to go into the game and be like, oh, well, this is, I knew all of this already. Like, and if I do, it's because, like, the week the game comes out, I'll start reading guides while I play it from people who've been playing it a lot longer. Like, one of the things I'll do when a Pokemon game comes out that's interesting, if it's something that's interesting, is I'll go into, like, the Cerebi has the Discovery Forum, where it's like him and his, I think it's not just him, I think it's him and a team play the game, and they'll sit there and they'll, anytime they find something, they'll just put it in the Discovery Forum. Like, oh, that's cool. Story elements and side quests and weird references to other things and item locations. That's all really kind of, interesting and helpful. But at the same time, it's like, give me something, because the only thing we have here going into this game, we are 4 months from release, 3 months from release, under 3 months from release. It comes out the 16th. The only thing we have is that, hey, look, there's Mega, there's this new form of Mega, of Dragonite. We have a Mega Dragonite coming, and that's it. I think it's somewhat confirmed that Meganium's gonna have, like, the starter's gonna have alternate evolutions, but, like, this would have been a great presentation to be like, here are the Mega Evolutions for the starters from Kalos. Like, here are the Mega Evolutions for, what are their names? Greninja, Delphox, and I forgot what the other one is. What the Chespin evolution is. But, like, here are their Mega Evolutions. It's like, oh shit, that's cool. And then it's like, or like, here's what Mega Xerneas and Velta look like. Like, that would have been cool too. But, like, they don't do that. So what you end up with is this weird situation where it's like, I'm not any more excited than I was before, because I don't think there's anything that they've advertised so far in this game that's like, oh shit, that's cool. Because, like, they advertise, like, oh look, Frufrau, or whatever the fuck his name is, you can change his form by bringing him somewhere. And I'm like, yeah, you could always do that. Like, that's a thing that you've been able to do since he was introduced in X and Y. And the thing is, too, it's like, Kalos is a really interesting region. I really like the Kalos region. And if you're going to get rid of the entire rest of the region and make it just Lumiose City, pitch me on why I should care about that. And I don't think they've shown me enough diversity of environment or enough of the city or anything like that to be like, oh, well, this is why you should care that we're doing this very differently from what you would accept, from what you would hope for from this game. Because Kalos has a lot of really interesting environments. And, like, look, if we're not going to go to any of these places, then what are we doing here? It's just that issue that I have with this. Is that I'm looking at this and I'm like, why is this being handled so weirdly? And that's why I'm tempering my expectations. The idea that, like, it is 3 months out from release, and we still know very little about this game. It's like between this and Metroid Prime 4, my expectations for Switch owners for this year, for their remaining first-party titles, are kind of on the ground, if I can just be blunt about it. Like, the idea that, like, we haven't heard anything about Metroid Prime 4. We don't have a release date or anything. You would think that the minute that GTA moved, they would have jumped and been like, boom, we're taking that release date at the end of the year and been done with it. But they never did that. Like, we don't have a release date still for Metroid Prime 4, and it's July, and it's coming out this year, allegedly. And this game, it's just like, I think that, like, the fact that they were willing to put this game out at the same time as GTA 6. I think I said, oh no, Metroid Prime 4, GTA 6. I think the fact they were willing to put this out against GTA 6 is questionable. And I think it speaks to them being like, fuck it, just dump it out. But I don't know, and I think that this has the potential to do a lot of damage to the brand if it comes out and it's not good. But my expectations are lower. I'm not overly eager for this game, and there's nothing about it that really jumps out as like, oh, you need to play this day one, which is not good coming off of the marquee presentation, which again, this is a presentation that was billed as we are going to be talking about Pokemon Legends ZA in this presentation on this date. Any other time we get that, be it, you know, because around the same time we had the Mario Kart one, the announcement of the Mario Kart World, and that was just the Mario Kart World Presents, or Mario Kart World Direct, and they just talked about that. The same thing with the Bonanza Direct for Donkey Kong Bonanza, and it's just like that's just how they do things, where it's like, look, we're going to talk about this game, our big marquee titles are going to get these things, and to sit here and spend the first almost 3/4 of the presentation talking about what is quite frankly just bullshit does not speak well to how they feel about this game. I think if they were really interested in this game, and they really were confident in this game, and they really felt that this game was going to come out and set the world on fire or be well received, I think it would not have been at the end. I think it would have been, and I think I'm not overly thrilled about Mega Dragonite's design either. I'll say that much. It's like, oh look, it's got elements of Dragonair in it. I'm like, that's weird. But it's like nothing about this screams confidence in this game to me, which is a problem, considering you marketed this as, we are taking our time on this game, we are here to make sure this game comes out as good as possible, we want to make the whole thing, really pop. We heard your concerns about Scarlet and Violet, and we want to earn back your trust, which, like, look, all of that was not outright said. But when that direct happened where ZA was announced, that was the implication. Because otherwise, they would have dumped it out on a year's notice the same way they always do. But the fact that they didn't tells me they were like, we hear you and we cannot let this happen again, because the performance issues of Scarlet and Violet, and by the way, when they talked about the Switch 2 edition of Scarlet and Violet, they were like, the graphics are even sharper, and I was like, that takes balls. That takes balls to be like, even sharper. And if you play Scarlet and Violet on the Switch, if you stand more than 10 feet away from someone, their frame rate drops to like 5 frames a second, and it's like, what the fuck? It's just bizarre. The whole thing is just bizarre. But I'm tempering my expectations. I'm not overly optimistic about Legends ZA coming out and setting the world on fire when it comes out in a few months. The graphics look great, but again, the graphics are cherry-picked, and they're always going to do that. So let's see how the game fully runs, especially on the Switch. I think it'll run better on the Switch too, but I'm very curious about how this runs on the Switch. And we'll wrap up there for today. Our next week we'll be talking about Venture Towns, or Cardboard Town. And until then, have a great rest of your